So I don't know what's going on with light beer brands these days, but they're certainly expressing some genuine antisocial behavior. It's almost like they've been drinking too much of their own beer, and alcohol is, after all, a depressant. And people do tend to lash out in self-destructive ways when they're depressed and drunk. But this is amazing because we've already just witnessed Bud Light's public intervention from its consumers who had to sit Bud Light down and explain to it that its friends were worried and wokeness had taken over its brand and was destroying it. And right on the heels of this, Miller Lite's doing the exact same thing. I mean, didn't they notice that Bud Light has had staggering sales losses amidst the Dylan Mulvaney controversy? No, it hasn't done anything. I guess that Miller Lite has been sampling the woke too. And now they've obviously got a problem. Here's the headline. It says, Bud Light outrage spreads to Miller Lite's new ad campaign. Miller Lite is about to feel the wrath of thousands of scorned social media accounts. And this is from thestreet.com. So let's see what kind of self-destructive behavior Miller Lite's advertising people have been up to.
Here's a little known fact. Women were among the very first to brew beer ever. From Mesopotamia.
Okay, so women were amongst the very first to brew beer ever. So among who? Among men? So there's women and men. So women and men were the earliest people to... This isn't really a big surprise. I'm not sure where she's going with this. Actually, I know exactly where she's going with this, but let's continue.
To the Middle Ages to colonial America, women were the ones doing the brewing. Centuries later, how did the industry pay homage to the founding mothers?
Is that really true? Women were doing all the brewing? I think they just literally made that up just for feminism reasons. Anyway, let's keep going.
They put us in bikinis. Wow. Look at this.
What is this problem with women in bikinis? They always go after the great-looking women in the bikinis. I mean, there's obviously something psychological happening here, but anyway, let's just keep watching.
Wild. It's time beer made it up to women. So today, Miller Lite is on a mission to clean up not just their shit, but the whole beer industry's shit. Miller Lite has been scouring the internet for all this shit and buying it back so that they can turn it into good shit for women brewers. Literally, good shit. How, you ask? Ladies, take it away.
First, we turn the bad shit into compost. Then we feed compost to worms. Push out beautiful fertilizer.
That good shit helps farmers grow quality hops,
which is then donated to women brewers to make their own really good shit.
So first off, the posters that apparently Miller hates now of the women in the bikinis, yeah, that's way better than this ad, which is actual shit. Okay, I just don't get this at all. So they're making fertilizer to give some fertilizer to some women to make some beer? I think they might be misjudging their audience here, their consumers. And also, as well, a general rule is when you're selling a consumable product, don't use the word shit over and over and over again, because when people think of your product, they might also associate it with shit. I think it's just a rule of thumb generally, isn't it? Don't associate your product with something disgusting.
But there's definitely more shit out there. In your attic, in the garage, in your parents' basement. Send any shit you got into Miller Lite, and they'll turn that into good shit too. Oh. So here's to women, because without us, there would be no beer.
I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I guess I could say it would have been better if she'd been in a bikini, but actually, no. No, that would have made it worse, because bikinis don't always work. So this is just astonishing to me. I think part of the problem is that advertising agencies just need to come up with new stuff to justify themselves and to justify the expense of having them. Because I think that when you reach the kind of market saturation that like a Bud Light or a Miller Lite has, there's not really that much upside. There's not really that much more market share you can take. You're already everywhere. So there's no marketing campaign that's going to give you some massive boost. And typically, kind of goes the other way too. You can't really screw it up that bad. Not unless you're really trying. And apparently, they're really trying, just like Bud Light. And it really is astonishing that this would come out now, that this was okayed now. That right on the heels of the Bud Light debacle, that they would put out a feminist ad insulting their customers. I mean, haven't they figured out yet that it's actually really easy to boycott light beer. It's really the easiest boycott in the world. It's just to not drink a light beer. And I don't know if this will have the same effect as the Bud Light thing with Dylan Mulvaney, but it should. I encourage you, don't drink Miller Lite anymore. What are you really missing out on anyway? Anyway, please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.